Commissioner Dotson? Commissioner Goings?
Present.
Commissioner Dietrich?
Excused.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Haven't heard from him.
And Commissioner Rowland?
Present.
Commissioner Amos?
Had not heard from her.
Commissioner Gunnelson?
Present.
Commissioner Hunt?
Present.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Present.
And Commissioner Watkins? Present. Commissioner Porter? Present. We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Okay, everybody join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the agenda, the only thing, can we get approval on the agenda, please? If you look over that and see what we all have. I'll have to take over Commissioner Amos's. That's about it.
And then number 5 under new business with Tanya, is that something you can speak?
That will be Amy, right, Amy? Okay.
I make a motion, Goings, to approve the agenda.
Second, Hunt.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The agenda passed. Approval of the minutes, the only thing I have on the minutes is the rail district should be from noon to 6 p.m. Yes,
Okay.
that'd be it.
I'll make the correction to the time, and they will be reposted, and we'll get them we'll resubmit them.
Okay, thank you. All right. So we get the meetings. Any citizens' comments? I don't need to vote on. No, sister's talking.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go back to the cemeteries. Commissioner Hunt.
Thanks, Rick. Just a couple things. The Guthrie burying update, is there anything, Amy?
I haven't heard anything new on that at all. I can check. I'll ask Tanya about it to see if she's heard anything, but I don't know if anything since that. I think the last time they were out there was the 9th, and they had till, I want to say the 30th or something to get it updated.
The end of the month.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think
I'll
there's
ask.
deadlines about to pass again unless they've done something.
Okay, let me look into it, and I will send out an email, tell you what I know.
Okay, thanks. Regarding the cemetery tours that was Commissioner Dotson mentioned last month, I'm going to reach out to the caretakers of Assumption, Mount Zion, and Sage, just to see if there's any interest in them maybe hosting a tour or something. So I'll reach out to them in the next couple of weeks. With it being fall, it might be a good time to do something, but we may not be able to put something together quick enough. We may have to hold off until the spring.
We can probably in this fall, it'd be a good time to also is to go out to the Klossmeyer Walker Cemetery. I will have to call that developer though and let them know when we're out there. We have access to the one that we don't know what's out there, but the other one we'd have to walk through the chigger snow. It takes, yeah, so.
Yeah, wear long pants that day, right?
Yeah, wear long pants. But that's something that we actually need to go and do, let you see that and what we actually have.
Okay.
All right.
And then the only other thing I have just to bring up is the veteran burial list that a subcommittee has been working on for quite some time. I think the list is kind of dead in the water, to use a pun, I guess. There's little, if any, interest from the community as a whole. I would say 95% of what we have collected, the subcommittee has found or researched on their own. So I guess my question is, at what point in time do we throw in the towel? I mean, the list is never going to be 100% accurate. Sadly, people die every day, and we just don't get that information shared with us on a regular basis. I know at one point in time the state asked us to start a list or to begin a list, but I think it's kind of run its course. The city does send out emails from time to time. We're mentioned in the newsletters, but I check the email pretty regularly, and there's no activity whatsoever. So I don't want to say we're just going to close up shop, but we're not actively going to continue to pursue updating this list. So Rick, is there somebody at the state that we can submit what we've done over the last year and a half?
There is, but I think before we actually do that, I think we should maybe have a meeting with the VFW and Councilman John Roth on, where they're at, because they're getting ready to put, flags and all that out, and just see where they're at, and then tell them what we're working on doing,
Okay,
and then go from there.
sounds good.
I really would. I would get their input,
Okay.
because those are the guys that do a lot of the footwork out there.
Yeah, I can reach out to both of them, so. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Commissioner Rowland, on Committee on the Education.
No report.
No report.
Oh, I was in Hawaii.
All right. Okay, Commissioner Amos then. What I will tell you is that we do have, Commissioner Amos and I did some tours on some of our homes. We have one application that we'll have to submit for our next meeting to do, for us to evaluate, okay? And we might have more. One of them we're waiting still to contact us, I think, on 2nd Street. And I'll be at the rail district, maybe they'll come down. And then our new Commissioner Kathy, we're going to talk with her, I think, meet with her maybe one day, okay, on her home. So anybody have any questions? Because this will be new, because this is be our first non-city home, okay? And there's a procedure.
Well, the Goodwood's not city-owned, but used to be.
Yes. Well, I mean, John, we look up to you and Janet for your expertise, because you guys originally worked on this. So we actually look for your expertise on this.
Did we find the list of properties that are?
We have the list of properties. We
Okay.
actually have all the procedures. So I have this application, and then we'll submit it at our next meeting. And then the only thing I do not have is some pictures, but I'll get some pictures of that house, and so we can put up on the screen so everybody can see what we're dealing with.
Does everyone, have you seen the application, or do you know what this is about? Okay,
I haven't seen the application.
Judy has to have,
fill out an application, yeah.
so I need to get one because there's other issues with.
Actually, I was going to stop by her house on my way home, because she lives in my neighborhood.
So this is the O'Fallon landmark, historic designation. So we have,
The Sears house.
yeah, yes, but we any property that we think is worthy of recognition at the O'Fallon level, there's an application, we can fill that out. Just being old in and itself doesn't necessarily make it worthy. But if it's like a significant event, it used to be this, like in the case of Goodwood, used to be the city hall. It was a place of business for 100 years that everyone in the city of O'Fallon once knew.
What about what used to be the black community school, even though it's not?
I'm working on that one
The
too.
ice cream shop, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So currently, we have nominated what is now Cleo Bridal, the Krekel House. We have the Healed Home in Dames Park, not the Fort, because that is a restoration and doesn't qualify for historic status. So getting O'Fallon status is usually a necessary first step before any potential nomination for national historic status. Their criteria is obviously way more rigorous and robust than ours, but we do have plaques. So I think we have, 8 that have already been ordered that we have sitting in someone's office.
Yeah, and that's all we can do right at the present time is those 8 that qualify. So we kind of made a list, Molly did and I did, and so we kind of have a list of the first 8, and we're just leaving off where you guys started, I think, and brought to our attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we were doing first. And, or actually, whoever fills them out first is how it works, so. It's a lot of detail because I don't know if, it has to be approved by us, and then it has to go through Amy, or it has to go through our council, and our councilwoman has to submit it, talk about it at our council before, and it has to have 2 readings before it's approved. And then we set up a deal, and you get a little plaque on a beautiful plaque on your building, your property.
And certainly not required, but very helpful if the property owner is supportive of being nominated.
Well, and if you want, I can do the photography because everybody was teasing me in Hawaii, you must be taking good pictures because I have a nice 35 millimeter. I know we can get the city to do it, but.
No, well, it's good for us to do it on our own time too. I mean, I want to take you up on that. Whatever we can't get off a phone or whatever, we'll take certain pictures. Because we have to have 4 angles, is that what it is? Mm-hmm. We have to have the front, back? Mm-hmm. Okay. Like the one house that I'm going to submit now, it actually has an older building in the back, which is a privy, which used to be, which was actually, that property used to be an apple orchard. And so the privy is still on that property in the back part of a shed that was, and this house wasn't built in 1914. So it's kind of interesting, But the owner is very, very excited about this because they want to participate. So we'll put that, go ahead.
Just for clarification, it in no way changes anything. It is strictly honorary. It doesn't restrict you from, as the homeowner, if we were to nominate your property, it in no way changes what you can or can't do to the property. Actually, no, the federal one also has absolutely no impact whatsoever on what you're allowed to do. The worst they can do is strip you of your National Historic Registry status. So if you were to tear it down, they can strip you of that status. I think I remember only once ever in history has a National Historic Registry status been revoked, and that was Chicago's Soldier Field. It was on the National Registry. They did a massive redo where they added all these stainless steel glass kind of exoskeleton, and they said, you just ruined its status, so we're stripping you of that. But other than that, there's no other way.
Well, and you also have to look at if they're 100-year-old houses or buildings or whatever, they do need some upkeep at some point. Siding isn't going to last forever.
Well, I think on that, you discussed, we did have thank goodness for Miss Doris Keevan, but we were able to actually get one of those plaques from the National Register that since a building was torn down, she preserved it and gave it to us last meeting for Sage Chapel. So that was really nice. Okay, anybody else have anything on that? I mean, Amy, this is all new to us, so we will move on from that. And then I just submit this at the next meeting with photos, and if we have more. Okay, is that how we do it? Just like we...
The form, which includes a written description of what about it makes it historic.
Make sure that's
you're,
right.
You're 2 steps ahead of us. There you go.
All right, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Rick, before we move on, with the minutes, we never did approve them, so with that correction.
I didn't know for sure if
Yeah,
I
I know,
had to wait till the next
I glossed over it, so with the correction, can we have a motion to?
Can we have a motion to approve those? So I didn't know if I had to wait. Thank you.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Goings, move to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second. Ms. Porter?
All right, then we'll have those.
All in favor?
approved as corrected.
Aye.
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 Sorry, Amy. I was going to go into that, but then I didn't know if we had to redo that. So thank you.
Well, as long as we just say that they are approved as corrected.
Okay. All right. Proof is corrected. Thank you. Okay. With that, we are on this. We did Amos. Mercantile building being placed on the National Register. Actually, I couldn't make it till a little bit later, but it was a great turnout. And the person that really worked on this really hard was Commissioner Watkins, and I was glad she was actually part of that. I mean, it was your time actually to shine because that was one of your big projects, and John supported you there, and I got there later, and you had Amy and Tanya. So
She was on both KMOV and KSDK. We got both NBC and CBS coverage for that one. Jan was front and center.
but that was a real honor for them. They were really happy, you know. They really were happy for that, and thank you to, I think the chamber had their meeting at that time, and so it worked out perfect. It was a perfect timing for everybody to celebrate. And it's really an honor, and it's a beautiful plaque, and I don't know when they were going to put that up.
Amy, do you know who was responsible in the city for inviting the news channels there?
The communications department,
Yeah, Tony's.
I think, helped with that.
Shout out to the communications department for
Yes,
helping
you guys did a
get some
great job.
publicity on that. That was very nice to see.
Did
It
some
was-
press releases.
It was everywhere, and that was really nice because, like you said, all the news stations had it, and the write-ups, and it was really good. So thank you guys from communications. With that, I'll move over to the educational brochures. Okay, on these brochures, we really need to work on that. I think we're going to do 8. We'll be able to list 8 instead of the trifold, which, I mean, it's going to be a trifold. Instead of having 6, we're going to have 8 items we can talk about on that paper. It's very important. I don't know how we do that as far as when it comes to like the Dames Park, we have 3 things that we can talk about under Dames Park. So that would cover all 3. And then if we add the sisters, we have 2 things under the sisters that we could talk about. And then we have for Jumo Park, we have 2 things under there. So I think we could probably get a lot in there. We got a grant for that. We get it or not, it's one thing. But also, I did a presentation for in front of the O'Fallon Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we're going to get $3,500 out of that, and I have to report back to them in 6 months. Okay, and the key to that is they want these brochures in businesses, and they want them in all the hotels besides the schools. You know, we're going to do a big thing, and we need to work on that. And I have to do the report. I'm really grateful for them. They started adding more when I talked to them, and they're very big supportive of this process. These brochures could bring in a lot of tourism, because when people come in here for a certain event, they're thinking maybe they see this stuff, they'll stay an extra day. Okay, and that's important. So everybody wins.
So you said businesses, schools, hotels?
Where else? Yeah, basically.
Huh?
Yeah, that's basically it. That pretty much covers everybody.
Or festivals that were
Or festivals like
Rail
the
District.
festival like the Rail District, yeah. The really good people, and I need to go back in 6 months, and I have to have a plan. And here's the funny thing: it's amazing. When I started out on this, we actually did bids with who we talked to a year ago, and our bid pretty much stayed the same. But then the visitors wanted me to commission wanted me to get some more, and so we're at almost $3,900 probably around there, and then I talked to one company and they said 14,000. Then I talked to another company, they said 11,000. Then they said, well, okay, let me send you to our corporate office and see if we can work out something. And I talked to her for over 45 minutes once they did that, and helped her out on some of her projects, and they got it down to like around 43,000, 4,300.
Oh,
So.
I was gonna say,
No,
1,000.
4,300. So, I mean, we did a good, but that was for that thing was a 30-day, you know, it was only locked in there for 30 days, which is really good. But, so,
You didn't stare him down and say, I'll give you $3.
that was all on the phone, and I was talking with Texas. And she was working on Benji, the dog Benji on her project. So, no, so it worked out good. So we have visitors sponsoring us or believe in what we're going to do, and that's really good. The convention and visitors. So we really need to work down, and I think I heard back from Janet, and I've heard back from Brian on what they think of the list that I sent out. So I really need everybody's. Kathy, I need to send it to you yet.
I don't remember getting it, but
Well, you're in Hawaii. But no, so I sent it out to everybody because I really need. I'll resend it because I just threw things out. I believe, yes, I just put a bunch of things out there that I knew there that cover all aspects of the city of O'Fallon is what I did. Because there's a lot to do too on the south side as there is on the north side and in the middle. And we need to cover the city as a whole. So we need to work on that. So let me see where I'm at here. Okay, the next thing is a rail district. I'll need help around 10 o'clock, setting up to 10 if anybody can help me.
when is that, this weekend?
This Saturday. And I'll have literature and we'll have books for sale. Our books on the O'Fallon books for sale.
Where is it? Civic Park?
Civic Park, yes.
Log Cabin?
We'll be set up at the log cabin.
Oh, okay.
Log Cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of takes mostly place on the lower portion of Civic Park there, if you know where that is. But it goes up the hill, up the walkway to the log cabin, basically. So a good chunk of the people park. I think they close off the Civic Park parking lot. So you have to park usually here at City Hall and then walk or shuttle.
How long does it go, Rick? Till 6?
It's from noon to 6.
Okay.
And we'll be up, actually, if you have children or grandchildren or whatever, we'll be by the little railroad that takes the kids on their little truck.
And I'm volunteering at the beer tent.
Except you got to see John.
None of you get free beers.
I don't drink beer.
But yeah, so I would need some help. You guys want to reach out to me? We'll have literature and all that. It'll be a fun time. This is our second years. Hopefully it's really successful. We need to be present and talk about our history, and because you have a lot of chamber and you have a lot of other people there that probably don't know. They're newer to town. They don't know what we have, you know.
I have a question. I have seen some people on Facebook wanting to know the timing of events, the schedule of a schedule for the Rail Festival. Like, I kept seeing people asking, like, when is the baby contest? When is this? When is that? So if I would be happy to get some information and put it on, like, it's a Facebook page, like what's going on in
O'Fallon.
You know, and I saw there are people interested, but they don't know when they should come.
Right, they just, because I didn't go any further, and I'd seen it this morning, where they had this little baby looking at this real tall,
You saw it too.
yeah, this tall trophy. Yeah, it was kind of neat.
I'll send it, by the way, this is sponsored by the O'Fallon Chamber of Commerce, and then through my involvement in the O'Fallon Community Foundation, we're a sponsor as well. So the DJ dance party is 12 to 2. From 2 to 2:30 is the My King Studio Kingdom Dancers. 3 p.m. is the baby crawl. That's,
Can we print this out though, too, so that,
if I had a way to hit print, I would, but I can forward this to you.
yeah,
And then, the baby crawl race. And by the way, this is year 2 of doing this, so we're still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. But 3 o'clock is the baby crawl, which is epic. That is funny.
Babies crawling in straight
I
lines.
tried to register to do it, but they decided I was too old, so I'm a little disappointed.
You don't want to wear a diaper, do you?
No. Although I would, depending on the price. And then there's music throughout. a series of bands.
I think
So
there's a surprise somewhere. They said something about a surprise. I didn't know what that would be.
I don't know the surprise.
Mayor gonna sing or somebody? I don't know.
There's a dunk tank. Dunk
Okay.
your favorite city council member.
Oh, really?
What time baby crawl?
Baby crawl is at 3 p.m.
And historic preservation will be there from 12 to 6 the whole time. If you have any questions, we'll have literature from the city on all our historic buildings that we have printed out. We'll have books for sale. We'll have information from the Boone Slick Trail, and we'll have information from the Sisters of the Most Precious Blood.
By the way, OFallonChamber.org is where you can go for the schedule.
Okay, thank you.
So it'll be a fun time. Weather looks like it's going to be good, so that's key. But I will need help with the tent, just for an hour or so, if somebody can help me out. Okay, with that, we'll go to the 4th of July parade.
Hey, Rick,
Yeah.
can we skipped 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, sorry.
Okay.
I'm using my old glasses, that's probably why I get new.
By the way, I want to know what the Boone Slick Trail is. Is that like a slip and slide or something?
I'm sorry, Janet, we'll have to go up there to Commissioner Watkins.
Can you hear me without the microphone?
No, they can't.
Okay,
You gotta hit the button.
all right. I'm secretary of the Boone Slick Trail and on the board of directors. And we had a meeting about a couple weeks ago at the Heritage Center in St. Charles. And we honored Travis Wilson, our representative from St. Charles, who after 2 years passed the Missouri House and has passed the House Bill 510, which recognizes trails in Missouri. So this will be signs put up for Route 66, Osage Trail, Boone's Lick Trail is with this, the Santa Fe Trail, the Trail of Tears, the Lewis and Clark Trail, and the beginnings of the Northern Oregon Trail and California Trail. So we presented him with a declaration for his work on this. It took about 2 years to get this done. And we also had a full program after that. Doris gave a program on the Boone's Lick Trail, and we had a full house with no actual seating left, which we were really excited about. O'Fallon is a part of the Boone's Lick Trail, Highway Inn, and as it moves on through to Franklin, Missouri, we have different markers. The DAR in 1912 put markers along the way. So we're really excited about this, and I also have some brochures I would like for you guys to pass out. So take one, there's an idea for brochures that we pass out when we go to different things. We also have several published books for people that like to travel the Boone's Lick Trail. One is Mapping the Boone's Lick Road by David Sapp, who is one of our directors on the trail. We have Boone's Lick Road, a guide to a Missouri treasure, and then we have Along the Boone's Lick Road, and the museum at Warrenton had permission from Mr. Rothwell's wife to reprint this. This has a lot more pictures and things where you can see some of the items along the road. Mostly O'Fallon has Highway Inn as along their Boone's Lick Road. Inn goes into M and O, and then on through actually the main street of Warrenton, and follows Highway 70. At one point, there is several, at least one outside of Warrenton, one 1912 marker that you can actually see from the highway. It travels on up to Williamsburg, Missouri, and at Williamsburg, to the left is what we call the Cutoff Trail, and that is where the pioneers would go to Jefferson City if they had to have business. They wouldn't completely follow that. They called that they would take the cutoff. It goes on through Boone County and moves on up into Rocheport and finally ends at Franklin. But that is where the salt is, where Daniel Boone went and where Daniel Boone went and had the salt licks.
Now, on that, we have 2 markers along Highway N. But
Yes, the
Highway N is going to be,
redone. And they took one of our markers and it is storage.
yeah, and they're going to take probably the other one maybe.
Right, and that's 2 of the markers. So they are in storage. One marker, people sold the land and took the marker. So,
There's the marker for the millstone, which was right near the Campbell House. I know that one.
true.
And then there's more of a granite one that is still there that's in Darting Prairie, technically.
Right, that's
Is
correct.
that one still, last I knew
That was still there, they just built apartments
Even though
there in
they
front of
just,
it.
yeah, they
Right.
Right,
built
that's
apartments
still there.
there. I
The
saw that
ones,
one.
yes, the ones in Warren County are still there. There is a marker for people that like to take trips. You turn left on Williamsburg, and it's the Grant's Cabin marker. It's not named after General Grant, it's called Grant's Cabin, and it's on a corner, and that is the first house or where people stayed all night in that first tavern in that to have glass for their windows. And then, because we were standing there out in no man's land we did a podcast, if you can find it, on Boones Lick Road. We did a podcast 2 years ago, and the UPS guy stopped and asked us what we were doing on the corner. We said, well, see this? We're working on this. Then across from Williamsburg, if you go to the Presbyterian Church, if you make a right over the overpass at Williamsburg, the trail goes to there, and there's a marker in the front yard. And then as you travel on to Kingdom City, if you go to the road to Mexico on 54, and there's a side road, blacktop side road that used to be the highway, you take that road and go back to another Presbyterian church. And the interesting thing about that is, the only problem is it's on a gravel road, but it's on kind of a hill, and there's a cemetery by it. And in the cemetery is the pioneers that passed away as they were going on Boones Lake Road. So the minister was saying that they would be having church, and the wagon trains would be going by. And if you get out and go into that cemetery and see some of the dates on the tombstones, but down the road as you make a circle, that bridge is out right now. And that church is actually on a gravel road. So there's a lot of things to see as you go along the road. So we're just very happy that this bill finally got passed, and we're thankful and very happy that Travis Wilson was ready to do that for us.
Thank you, Janet. Now, you guys, when you go to your site, the Boones Lick Road,
Yes.
there's pins on where all of those markers are.
Right, we have a site with, we have a really good website. We have a library with the site that a lot of students from the high schools and that use. Very extensive history site of the history along there.
And with that, I was going to say I'm really excited because we actually have some really good councilmen out there, Costello and Bibb, that actually, when this all started on the city or the state going to come in and widen that, they keep an eye on that location, and we're making sure that those monuments would be protected. What I'm hoping what happens when that 2-lane becomes 4-lane on Highway N, and they put those markers, which are going to have the markers done through the DAR. I'm hoping we can actually get a sign on parts of in O'Fallon from the state marking this new bill, stating.
That's what they plan on doing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we for the city of O'Fallon gets that marker. So it's a really neat thing. Now, I do not know if the Salt Lick River Road is in that or not. Janet, do you know that if that's part of that or not? If you can get back with me later, but that would be because we got that covered. And then when we got Salt Lick River Road here from where all the settlers came up, and
I have to look at a map.
Yeah, so we need to find that out yet.
But I'm not quite sure.
Okay. So thank you for that, because that's an honor. That's a big deal. I mean, and if we can get besides the DAR monuments, we can get actually, because they're placed exactly where those locations were, where settlers stopped. We need something in our city stating that on the Boonslick Trail also. And the state hopefully will give us the sign when they get that all done. And I'm really sorry for missing that. I really am for missing you up there. Thank you. And then the virtual museum project, we definitely need to get working on that. I don't know, we could probably maybe set up a time, maybe with Cheryl and her camera now it's fixed, and get in there maybe, and could we do it, start that way by us taking our own pictures of certain things? And then once we have those pictures, we can write about the items or go, start that process, maybe room by room.
Yeah, I think maybe having the basis for a script and
Yeah.
and how you want to, what way you want to go down around the cabin.
Yeah, because in the front of the cabin, actually, the front part of the cabin is the original part. And that actually tells you how the settlers actually moved through the United States. You know, how they carried their beds, how they carried their trunks, how they did. So that actually tells us the whole story in there. And then the mantle is actually part of the original mantle out of Fort Zumwalt, which is pretty cool that they preserved that too. So that those first two rooms are very significant, and then the rest we could actually move back to the back and take those pictures, and that would be. I mean, all these projects are actually, as you know, we need a lot of participation in all them. I mean, in finding the time. So.
To me, having been to the log cabin, it would be an automatic to turn to your left to go into where the bed and
Bedrooms.
the organ or piano or whatever is.
Yeah.
And then to go into the back and then come out to the front, ending in the front
In the dining room?
in the dining room. Yeah. Just as progress to go, so you don't have people stagnation,
Right. I mean, yeah, we go back and forth.
Yeah.
We put it all together, and then it depends on how that story goes.
Yeah.
You know, everybody who's working on that story wants to tell that story. Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, guys, for all this. Okay, I'm going to get back to where I'm at. Amy. Show me America. I think we actually have a picture for that too.
Number 4, did we talk about the,
Oh, the parade. No, I'm sorry. The parade. I think that is going to have, we need to work on the parade, but we also need more information through the city of what they want us to do through communications and, all right. After seeing everything that the state wants everybody to do, I think we need to look forward to the parade. We're going to have a flatbed and everything else, what we want to do, but we also might have to tweak it to work with what the city also wants to work toward or go from there.
our communications director, Tony Machaca, had said that they are putting together a staff committee, and he's been chosen to kind of lead that. So there will be a committee that gets together to look at the city's participation. And that does kind of lead into agenda item 5, the Show Me 250.
Right.
But there is going to be a staff subcommittee that's going to be dedicated towards planning that.
Yeah, there's a lot that everybody wants to do for that, and it's education, but it's also celebration. There's so many events that happen through here from the beginning of time in O'Fallon that we have to recognize. It's where do we start, what the city wants to do, and what we need to do as preservation. Okay. Thank you, Amy. I know they run together now that we know that everybody's going to get involved.
Yes. And I do have a thing from Tanya about item number 5 that I was just going to read.
Okay,
And it goes along with these, the flyers that were at everybody's seat, the calling all patriotic communities. I'm just going to read what she had written about this. Under the President's guidance, the Salute to America 250 Task Force, also known as Task Force 250, has begun preparing a full year of celebrations that will kick off on Memorial Day 2025 and continue through July 4th, 2026. The White House is encouraging participation from all corners of the country, federal, state, and local governments, businesses, nonprofits, schools, and individuals alike to come together for this once-in-a-generation celebration. Task Force 250 is inviting everyone to reconnect with American history, appreciate the beauty of the country, and spark a renewed spirit of innovation and adventure that will carry us into the next 250 years. You can get involved by visiting https://showme250.mo.gov, where you can nominate your favorite Missouri location to be one of the top 250 Missouri destinations. Missourians are also encouraged to explore the state, whether it's a hidden gem nearby or a short day trip away as part of the great road trip across Missouri. Submit your favorite spot to be featured. As we count down to July 4th, 2026, the America 250 Missouri Commission is also inviting everyone to take part in a series of special events. First up is Patriotic Plantings. I have some flyers printed out to promote the Patriotic Plantings initiative, and those were the ones that are at your seat. Now's the time to start planning for next spring's red, white, and blue floral displays. Whether it's courthouse lawns, business fronts, or your own yard, help create eye-catching patriotic flower beds and container gardens. Imagine driving through neighborhoods next summer and seeing dazzling displays of flags and flowers, just like we do with holiday lights in winter. Start planning now and budget for your own 2026 patriotic display. That's what I have.
all right, thank you for that.
They could have made that URL a little bit easier. Jeez.
Yeah, made it a tiny one, or 50.
There's like 4 forward slashes in there.
Yeah, and everybody, everybody can go to that website for the state of Missouri and actually do your vote, what you think should be, and everybody should do that. With that, I thank you, Amy, for this. Thank you, Tanya, for writing it. With that, we're going to do part 3. Sister Barbara, thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
I'm really appreciative.
Is there a presentation to load up there?
Are you loaded?
Oh, yeah,
It's coming. There it is.
there we are.
Takes time.
Well, this is part 3 of our presence in O'Fallon. The bottom part of the screen is cut off. It says part 3 at the bottom. Oh, well. Okay, next slide. Sure. To paraphrase Emily Dickinson's poem, I'll tell you how the sun rose, a ribbon at a time. I'll tell you how the campus grew, a building at a time. It started with one building, begun in 1874, completed in 1875. The North Wing was added in 1876. Then came the West Wing in 1903. Then St. Joseph Chapel, along with the infirmary called Sacred Heart Hall, was begun in 1925, finished in 1926. The novitiate building, with its kitchen and dining rooms, was added in 1930. The East Annex was begun in 1950, finished in 1952. The gym and laundry building came in 1954. St. Mary's College and the west extension of St. Joseph Chapel were built in 1962-64. The last building, St. Joseph Hall, was built in 1976. And here is the complete campus.
It is a really good picture.
There are some other buildings not connected with the main complex of buildings that are worth noting. The first building that you see as you enter the grounds is the rectory, the original priest's house built in 1880-81. In 1977, when we no longer had a resident chaplain, the rectory became a guest house. In 1983, the guest house was converted into the novitiate, also known as the House of Formation. Then a small community of our sisters lived there. Then, when the apartments were established, it was renovated into 4 apartments and known as the Inn, as it is today. As you pass the rectory, look to your left, the arrow points, and you will see this structure. Originally built as garages in 1942, later the upper level was made into a residence for Richard Hilpert. Later on, it was used as a small community residence, and then as guest rooms. And now the upper part is vacant, although the lower part, the garages, are still in operation. Okay. The white structure which you can see behind the garages and the, wait a minute. Oh. You went too fast. I think you passed one up.
Oh, to the, on the right? The white building?
I'm sorry, I get a little nervous. Okay, a little farther down, go ahead. A little farther down the road is this building. It was originally Richard's shop. It is still a maintenance shop. Next. The black and white photo shows the chicken coop as it was originally. Note the cluster of black chickens. It is the only building remaining of the many farm buildings, barns, hog house, etc. The chicken coop was transformed into an art studio where Sister Mary William Peasold worked and taught classes for many years. It stands empty now. Okay. The white structure which you can see behind the garages and the maintenance shop is the equipment and gardening shed. I do not know what it was before, but here it stands, and here's the front and back of it. As you approach the main entrance, you pass another presence that's hard to miss, namely the cemetery. In 1876, the first part of the cemetery was laid out and surrounded by a picket fence. A 4-foot wooden cross marked each grave. In 1909, a crucifixion group was erected and still stands. The mortuary chapel, that's that structure on the right side of the photo. The mortuary chapel was added. The mortuary chapel held the body of the deceased sister until her funeral. It was a place for prayers and last goodbyes. The chapel was removed in 1960. In 1919, the cemetery picket fence was replaced with a stone wall, and wooden crosses were replaced with concrete crosses, as you see in the photo to the left. About 90 years later, in 1998, the crosses were replaced with granite stones, pictured in the photo to the right. And this is our cemetery now. In March of 2025, Sister Janice Bader and Father Nicholas Kestenholtz signed the official paperwork to transfer the perpetual care and ownership of our cemetery to Assumption Parish. Over the years, buildings and parts of buildings have undergone remodeling to serve a new need. The congregation started St. Mary's Academy in O'Fallon in 1964 in the old novitiate building. The academy was started as a small private Catholic girls' high school. Here's Sister Marilyn Schneider conducting a concert in St. Joseph Chapel. Evolution, from typewriters to computer keyboards. Every girl was required to take typing or keyboarding in the freshman year. Students who qualified for advanced placement courses could take such courses at St. Mary's College. The academy closed in 1990. Momentous event in our history. We had sold sections of land before, but never a building. And these are the buildings that were sold. In 1997, the city of O'Fallon bought the college, novitiate building, and gym and laundry. And this, after renovations, became this. Those buildings became the new O'Fallon City Hall and Police Department. This is an approximation of how the new structures fit into the old. So where the novitiate was, where the college was, where the laundry was, and that's where we are, in the laundry. Okay, go on. Yeah. All right, the new entrance, the floor plan for the first floor, and we'll take a brief tour. Step inside the new entrance, and this is what you see. Note the brick wall with windows. That is the exterior wall of the novitiate. Now the interior wall of the entryway. There's an error here. I say, keep going and you come to City Hall, but actually that's farther down the road. But the doorway that leads to the room where city business is conducted. Go ahead. And here we are in the council chambers. Is that the correct word for it?
Yep.
Okay. And tonight, the Historic Preservation Commission fills those chairs. These stairs lead to the second floor and the gym. Before you leave by way of the east entrance, you see the multipurpose room. This is the room where elections are held. Now the clock tower. Anticipating the new millennium, this clock tower was erected and dedicated on December 30th of 1999. Note the obelisk. The gray obelisk has a brief account of the purchased buildings. We're going to the next slide for detail. So here's a close-up of the obelisk. At the top, the history of the municipal center. Okay, the novitiate building, the red underline, that is, now they're calling that the West Wing. The laundry and gym are called the South Wing. The college is the East Wing, but a correction is needed here. The college it was not in 1960. It was begun in 1962 and completed in 1964. We no longer needed all the space available in the mother house buildings. What to do? Demolish what we don't need? No, there was a better solution. Okay. We partnered with a developer to convert most of the remaining mother house buildings into senior housing apartments and a skilled care facility. As you look at the names, perhaps you know some of those people. You might know the sisters, or you might remember the O'Fallon mayor at that time, Donna Morrow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go on. Another groundbreaking picture. We're going to pause on this photo so you can look at all the people. Maybe there are some people there that you recognize.
Steve Bender, Patty Brown.
Yeah, I see Patty there.
Okay, moving on. To create the apartments, the walls between many single small bedrooms were demolished. Then walls were put up to make larger rooms. A typical apartment, the living room, the bedroom, the kitchen, and in the apartments, the kitchens are full kitchens with a stove and an oven and a dishwasher and microwave, everything a kitchen would have, refrigerator, and then the bathroom. Keep getting ahead of myself. The farmer community room undergoes deconstruction and becomes the Precious Blood Chapel. The reconstruction that created the apartments also led to major changes in St. Joseph Hall. The east end of the first floor underwent substantial reconstruction. Originally, the steps and doorways led into the corridor with two small communities on either side. And now this became the main entrance. The receptionist's desk faced the entrance. The ramp entrance was used almost exclusively for ambulance transports. The infirmary became known as Villa Teresa Haven, then Mount Carmel Senior Living, when Chris Brown became the sole owner of the infirmary, properly known as Skilled Care. The name was changed, excuse me, the name was changed to Abbey Senior Health, as it is today. Abbey Senior Health is a fully certified skilled care facility offering both long-term residency and short-term stay for rehabilitation. There used to be a freight elevator where some of the tables are, over on the right-hand side. The freight elevator was taken out and flooring was put down, making room for a dining area on both skilled care floors, and filled in, of course, on the first floor as well. The assisted living unit, called Abbey Cottages, opened in May of 2023. The assisted living unit has 8 bedrooms with bathrooms. 2 of the units are doubles, that is, they can accommodate 2 persons. The unit is staffed 24/7. We see past the dining room and into the living room, and there, right in the middle of the screen, is Sister Mary Venard LeBeau, assisted living's first resident, age 100 when she moved in. What was the east entrance is now an enclosed patio with an emergency gate. And once again, the ramp entrance became the main entrance, as it is now. The last reconstruction. Perhaps you remember seeing this building. It is the south part of the East Annex, built in 1950. The red arrow points to the basement and to the corresponding area on the blueprint. The whole area in the blueprint will undergo a marvelous transformation, but we will start with the southmost end, which was the bakery. No photo remains of the oven, but it might have been similar to the one in this picture. Sister Mary Charles shows off the products of that oven. In the reconstruction, jackhammers and brute strength were needed to remove the oven, and the noise seemed to go on and on and on. But eventually it was done. Oh, no. You back. That's it. When the bakery was no longer used, the space was repurposed. Sister Josepha and various helpers found the area ideal for their workshop, where they repaired all sorts of things. Once construction began, they had to find another location, but their work goes on. The basement held decades of things, stuff, equipment, objects. One area was repurposed for a time as an art studio called the Rose Gallery, where Sister Rose Virginia made wreaths and bouquets and such things for First Communion and Mother's Day and graduations and other special occasions. Okay. Once cleared out and reconstructed, the whole basement under the south part of the East Annex now looks like this. Here is the receptionist's desk, and down the corridor are offices for administration and staff. We no longer call it the basement. It is officially now called the lower level, but we still call it the basement. Okay. The little laundry had to have all the washers and dryers removed. Other rooms were full of furniture. The staff break room had to go. After demolition, a large L-shaped space remained. This was made into the assembly room. The podium and 3 screens can be seen from anywhere in the room. Next to the assembly room is a small room where the sisters can relax, watch TV, listen to music, play games, or do nothing while enjoying the comfortable chairs. Okay. Now the part you've been waiting for, the sisters' contributions. Our first contribution was education. The Assumption Parish Grade School was actually founded in 1871 as a one-room schoolhouse with 27 pupils taught by the pastor, Father Sonnenschein, and then by Herr Joseph Rustige. In 1873, Sisters Camilla and Blanche came to teach and immediately reorganized the school according to traditional Catholic school practices. The sisters taught in the grade school until 1991. Not those two, but all the sisters. Okay. In 1923, Assumption Parish opened a 2-year high school, which was expanded to 4 years in 1929. The sisters taught in the high school. Some of our sisters graduated from the Little White Schoolhouse, pictured here. And maybe some of you know some family members, the earlier generation, who went to school there. A permanent reminder of our teaching ministry is celebrated in the traffic signal cabinet art, which Sister Mary Cecile designed and executed. You can see the art on the 4 sides of the signal cabinet on the corner of North Main and St. Joseph Avenue. We will pause for a moment to read the Assumption Grade School part at the top. Can you see it well enough to read it?
Yeah.
All right, to the next slide. We'll pause again to read the part at the bottom, which refers to the right-hand picture. Sophia Krekel, the daughter of Nicholas Krekel, the founder of O'Fallon, was born in 1864. She was just 9 years old when the sisters came to teach in the Assumption Parish School in 1873. Something about the sisters must have attracted her. When she grew up, she entered the community, thus becoming the first vocation from O'Fallon. She entered in June of 1885, made first profession in July of 1889, and was known as Sister Raymunda. She died June 10th, 1934, and she is buried in the convent cemetery. Sister Raymunda was missioned to parishes in Nebraska, Illinois, and Missouri, but never to O'Fallon. More than 20 young women from O'Fallon have followed Sophie into our community. Here are 14 of them. Perhaps you know or remember some of them. In the top row is Sister Edmunda Ike and her sister, Sister Eustacia Ike, Sister Mary Alquin Sigmund, Sister Inez Marie Prize, and Sister Mary Clement Salfin. In the middle row is Sister Anacita Leffler, Sister Mary Pascal Schaefer, Sister Marie Leffler, and Sister Mary Judith Orff. And in the bottom row, Sister Mary David Debrecht, Sister Mary Edgar Maher, and her sister, Sister Catherine Marie Maher, Sister Luella Dames, and Sister Julia Marie Wolfe. And I do hope you know some of those sisters.
Those are old names. Those are really old names from here, from O'Fallon, yeah.
Yeah, O'Fallon names, yes. Mhm. Okay. Written at the top of the photo is Convent Float in Centennial Parade, August 1956. Karen is the sister with the white veil. No, she isn't. The only Karen possible is Karen Stiefvater, who would have been a postulant dressed like the girl on the right. Sister Luella Dames was a novice at that time and would have been wearing a white veil. Maybe that's Sister Luella. At the bottom is written, Float passes in front of Grandma Westhoff's house. Does anybody know where Grandma Westhoff's house was? I surely do not.
I do not. But that's a good thing to find out.
Well, this is 1956.
You can find it out.
Well, I was thinking that looked like Cleo's bridal, but it's not.
The only information I have is what was written on the photo.
Well, I will find out, I'll ask.
I mean, is that the implication that's the building in the background, or that's the position of the photographer?
Well, float passes in front of Grandma Westhoff's house. So I guess that structure behind
Did a
them.
Westhoff ever live in the Krekel house?
I don't think so. No. But somebody had mentioned, we'll ask.
Well, I thought Westall's lived across the street in that brick house that's right across the street from the store. Maybe that house there is, because that house was probably built in the 50s, that brick one.
And then we'll have to ask.
We can sleuth that out easy.
Yeah, we'll find that out for you, so you to put that on there.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, next slide.
1956, I had to put that down, 1956.
So we took part in the celebration in 56. We took part in the celebration in 2006. Och, du lieber Augustine. 8 sisters wearing traditional habits sang German folk songs during the production of Tales of a Small Town at the O'Fallon sesquicentennial celebration. Sister Charlene Grieshaber was a member of the sesquicentennial steering committee. By the way, Sister Mary Cecile made the habits. And another, by the way, I am the sister on the left directing the little ensemble. Before a formal chaplaincy program was established, the police department called on the sisters to accompany them in various problem situations. One sister says that Sister Alicia Dalton was often called to accompany officers on domestic violence calls, in spite of the fact that she was already losing her eyesight. An officer said that her presence calmed the situation quickly. She went with the officers day or night, but she never spoke of her experiences. Sister Elaine and Sister John Bosco also provided their compassionate support. Sister Anne Louise responded to a need in the city of O'Fallon by becoming a chaplain to assist the police as they responded to difficult situations in the community. For 21 years, Sister Anne Louise was available to accompany police officers when they needed to notify family members of a death or accident or some tragedy. She was very proud of her ministry and requested that the chief of police attend her Mass of Resurrection and celebrate her life with the community. Sister Letha served as a chaplain for the police department in the city of O'Fallon for 16 years. She did not seem to mind being called out at night when a chaplain was needed in crisis situations or to give assistance to persons who needed food or aid. Excuse me. Next slide. Sister Joan served as a chaplain for the O'Fallon Police Department for 6 years. The proclamation recognizes her, quotation, participation in numerous civic organizations and her development and promotion of, again, quotation, public service projects too numerous to list. In a proclamation issued in November of 2024, Mayor Bill Hennessy recognized Sister Joanne for 40 years of passionate service and dedication to the O'Fallon Police Department. The proclamation noted that her 40 years of service made her the longest-serving chaplain in the history of the department. Okay. As one of the first members of the O'Fallon Business Association, Sister Jean William was an ambassador of goodwill and a representative of the sisters. On receiving the award, she said, "I represent St. Mary's Institute in the O'Fallon Business Association and serve as treasurer with yardstick in hand to govern the disposition of treasury funds and assure accuracy in our accounting system." Sister Jean William was also a member of the Citizens Planning Board for the Fire Department. Sister Esther and Sister Ruth started the St. Charles Coalition Against Human Trafficking Education and Awareness Program, holding many meetings both in St. Joseph Chapel and in other city venues. Their passionate defense of trafficked persons prompted Mayor Bill Hennessy to issue a proclamation designating January 11th as Human Trafficking Awareness Day. In earlier years, Sister Esther was personnel manager who hired people for work in the Mother House, thus employing many O'Fallon residents. As docents, these two sisters welcome visitors and tell them about the refurbished house or rebuilt fort. Sister Mary Cecile is also a member of the Historic Preservation Commission. Cecile, do you want to add anything to that? Okay. Ageism is a prejudice against older adults, which leads to stereotyping and discrimination. It is estimated that there are 20,000 adults over the age of 60 living in O'Fallon, at least 75 of them living at Villa Teresa. Sister Carol promoted ageism awareness, and as a result, Mayor Bill Hennessy issued a proclamation designating October 9th, 2024 as Ageism Awareness Day. Sister Carol also has served as a member of the Community Emergency Response Team of O'Fallon and has helped as a Spanish interpreter for O'Fallon's residents who need the service. Sister Hiltrudis Powers shared her art talent with the city by making banners for the lampposts. I do not have a photo of her work, but I have been told that the banners celebrate at the various seasons. In the 1970s, needy residents in O'Fallon could find food, clothing, linens, and houseware at a food pantry and thrift store called Fish. Several sisters donated their services to the store. The story of the sisters' contributions to O'Fallon must include Richard Hilpert, the nephew of Sister Barbara Beckley. He came in his 20s to O'Fallon in 1925 and stayed until his death in 1982. According to his obituary in the St. Charles Post, he served for a time as assistant fire chief for the O'Fallon Volunteer Fire Department. He remained an honorary member until his death. He oversaw the construction of the O'Fallon Civic Center. In February of 1980, he was named Man of the Year by the O'Fallon Chamber of Commerce. Over the years, Richard became a master of engineering, designing, directing, and supervising the construction and remodeling of many of our buildings. There was first the novitiate building, then the East Annex, the gym, and the college buildings were added to the novitiate, and the chapel underwent major remodeling and enlargement. In addition to all this, he engineered the moving of the 130-foot water tower to its location near the railroad tracks. And this is the end. This was supposed to be the last presentation, but last month I was asked to do one more, one that would feature the sisters' ministries beyond O'Fallon. And so that is what I will do.
Thank you, Sister Barbara. Yeah, really. I have a few questions, and I have an answer. The Westhoff house was the Krekel house. Okay.
Oh,
I said that,
I'll have to look at that photo more
yeah,
closely.
so that was the Krekel house. And I have a question on the east side annex, is that where the entry, is that where it was an Irish, I believe it was an Irish castle that was built out of rocks.
Oh,
That was there, and I used to admire that. I mean, when I do my walking, you know. Was that the east side?
no, that was in front of the,
It was right out here,
Well-
I know that.
where the original chapel was, that rounded part where the original chapel was, it was close there,
Okay.
at Starkenburg Castle. Yeah.
It was really neat, because I admire it when we do our walks, you know. my
It
buddy
was
and I would
neat.
walk up here.
It was a reproduction. I can give you more information.
Yeah.
But just not off the top of my mind.
Sure, and the other question is, I had somebody ask me if you were a teacher at St. Dominic.
Teacher,
Were you a teacher at St. Dominic?
at St. Dominic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I did teach in the college, our college.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I do have one more. I know we're running a little late here. I'd like to know a little, do you have anything on prohibition? How the sisters and how the church might have worked during prohibition?
I have never seen anything in our histories that talked about prohibition.
Okay. I mean, we run across some houses and some history, and I'm like, oh, it's all starting to run together. How did it operate, you know, during those times? Because you were the big entity here as far as in the city during those times.
Right. We weren't making either beer or liquor and not consuming it either.
Okay.
Not in
Well, I
those-
figured
not in
that, but
those
I just
days.
didn't know if there was any papers on, that anybody wrote about that, how people did things.
No, I've never come across anything.
Not even wine for your,
Well, we did not produce the wine, but sacramental wine, yes,
Yeah,
that was provided.
Yeah,
In those days, priest only.
okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? With that, I will close. Good night, everybody. Thank you.